Aquarius, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. This is your reading for, the next 7 to 10 days or for whenever you come across this reading. It's for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Do check your other placements to get a more comprehensive view of the week ahead. On the dice you have the fifth house of romance, gambling, fun, dating, sex, children. It's a really easygoing house with Venus, and we do have the heart card here. So very much focusing probably on romance, but it's also about things that you value. And it could be to do with gambling with the clover and the parks here. Why am I calling it parks? Never call it parks. The garden. And we've got Sagittarius. Sagittarius to me is a sign of truth seeking. It's also a very fun sign. It's very active. I'm not seeing any sort of traveling. I'm not really seeing a lot of communication here. There's definitely a connection. It almost feels that there could be like some lucky chance meeting or a get together of some sort with this combination. I'll focus on the energy that I've pulled through for you firstly, and then your external energy. Now this, obviously with it being general, could be interchangeable. So as much as I'm reading this as your energy, it could very much be the energy of the person or the environment that you're dealing with. So you have got the owl spirit, I can see clearly now, and you've got the spider spirit, co-create. No, make your dreams come true. So this is speaking that this week you are going to be seeing things very clearly, but it's intuitively in terms of how you're seeing things. It means your senses are going to be very keen. It can be a very wise energy. So you've been asked really to pay attention to kind of what's between the lines is what I'm feeling, especially with the spider web here. As much as it's a card of co-creating with spirit, which is really saying that, you take one step and spirit will take another with you. It doesn't need to be spirit. It can be co-creating with other individuals as well. There may be like an idea that you have, something that you're really clear on that not everyone is able to perceive, maybe the benefits of it. But I'm feeling that you might need to just be really clear in your intentions regardless as to how other people see things. Because this man here who's coming through in your reading, so presumably someone significant in your life, who either may be coming in to provide some sort of clarity. I'm thinking it's more that you're starting to see this person very clearly, because the spider web can be about, a deception and, weaving various truths. It's almost having to see through the layers of what is being presented to you and trusting your intuition without question. I think that's really important. I don't know if, this get together, this meeting may be one where you start to feel a little bit shaky or a little bit fearful or a wee bit out your depth. That's quite possible. But this external energy could also be the person you're dealing with. And this is the Panther spirit reversed with the Cat spirit in the upright. And this is fear. This can be someone who has a fear of, I wouldn't say a fear of being single or, being independent, but because the Cat spirit is in the upright here. But in some way there is like a challenge that is being kind of resisted. There's a giving up of, your power or their power to another or external authority or something. And what is really needed here is somebody needs to have some healthy self-respect, some healthy self-worth, be conscious of where they have natural codependencies. But it's saying that I think that a degree of risk, calculated risk may be in order. It almost feels like people kind of need to lighten up a wee bit. I think things have become overcomplicated, and I'm not sure they need to be overcomplicated. And if they are, it's because we're filling in the blanks of the information we don't have access to with what, suits us. And it may be, have no bearing on reality whatsoever. So I think you're really being asked this week, regardless as to what's presented to you or what's going on in the week, is to have a very clear vision, be very clear in your intentions, and trust your intuition first and foremost. Now there is, with the Pilgrim and the Maiden here, this is something new. It may be like a new sensual relationship. The Pilgrim is a traveller. I'm not seeing any travel cards other than the bridge, which can speak of a connection, but it's more of a seeking energy. There may be something that you're specifically wanting to study. There may be a new area of study that, you know, piques your curiosity this week, because the maiden is something, you know, very new, yeah? And the maiden has a great deal to learn. It's a very youthful energy. So there's a seeking of knowledge and wisdom, and it may be in an area that you don't have a lot of experience in. And I feel that ultimately there's like a possibility of some sort of creative project here that if you were to take the chance, follow through on it, it does have the potential to be very successful. And I think it's important you don't let other people interfere with that vision. Now this external energy, and it may be masculine, but it does have the king, and I do have the tower at the base of my Lenormand deck. That can speak of, you know, the government, the rule of law, something official. It can be something from the past. It can speak that, you know, there's some sort of separation or isolation involved in whatever this connection is. But the king is the ruler, you know, is emperor energy, is usually very kindly. It's divine masculine energies. It's someone who may be in a leadership role. But with the abyss here, the empty room, I mean, that I don't know why, but I am getting like a boardroom sort of vision here. But this can be someone who there's a lot of potential, but there's actually not a lot doing. You know, this is someone who can feel that they're in the abyss, that there's, you know, there's lack in some way in their life. Now, it may just be in terms of, you know, work, or, you know, reaching some sort of goal professionally. But there's slightly unsteady energy coming through here. I feel that this is someone who is probably quite independent, but in some area of their life, they need to take back their power. They need to have more self-confidence, because I think it's creating some fears here. And it may be in the romantic arena with the heart here, but it doesn't have to be. The base of the deck, so we have got the clocks, which has come through so often in the last couple of weeks. It's almost saying that it's time for something, and it's time for some fun, really. Now, this can speak of, you know, gambling specifically. This often comes through for my trades. It would be, you know, like the stock market or a betting shop. But the clover is basically something lucky, fun and light-hearted, and it's some sort of meeting. It obviously can be a date. It's a get-together of some sort. It may be something that happens sort of, you know, serendipitously, not necessarily something it's planned, because I'm not seeing any communication or plans afoot here, quite frankly. It's almost like there may be, you know, a chance. It's like a chance meeting of some sort, but it may be like a really new fun group of people that you're getting involved with here. You may be sharing ideas in some way. And I feel that's really necessary, because there's a feeling here that things are way more serious than they need to be. Now, this masculine energy, he has got the bridges here, and this can speak about building connections or burning connections, a desire to connect, maybe to travel. He has got the Puck and Sylvanus. Now, the Sylvanus can be a card of communication. It's not the strongest meaning of this card. To me, it does speak about just cutting through, discovering new truths, but oftentimes about ourselves. We put on the mask of truth here, and then we reveal ourselves, yeah. So I mean, you might be seeing something about this person, maybe that has been deceptive, or they have deliberately tried to hide something, but this can actually be something this person is experiencing. You know, they have maybe taken a time out and are attempting in some way to find their own truth. And see themselves more clearly. So as I say, I'm not seeing like a communication as such, but I am seeing a lot of clarity, especially coming through with the owl spirit here. You've been able to see something, because the Puck is a master of illusion and delusion sometimes. This is an energy where things are deliberately confusing, you know. This is what the Puck does. I don't know if he does it out of fun or not, but he deliberately confuses and bemuses our senses in many ways. He wants you to see like the bad and the good, and the good and the bad. So there's just so many contradictions and paradoxes when the Puck comes through. He is incredibly fluid. This may be someone who changes their mind a great deal, or this may be someone who's, you know, grappling with the truth of the situation in some way. But it's also an energy of somebody who can't understand why people can't see the things their way. Because to them, in some way, there's an area that is really obvious. Now, this could be you with the owls, but it is really obvious. Why can't everyone see it that way? They can't when the Pook's around, because it's a naturally contradictory type energy. But this can be someone who's, you know, seeing that in themselves, seeing where they have been contradictory, where they have created illusions, where they haven't been prepared to be, you know, honest and upfront about probably how they feel. The heart is a card of feeling, attraction, love, romance, but you know, it is heart-centered energy, and that's a direction. This may be someone who's literally connecting with their heart, you know, what they really want from life, not necessarily just love. But this is also screaming a date. This whole reading, there's some sort of get together here that is supposed to be light, easy breezy, new, curious, finding things out. I'm just getting this feeling that there's it's important not to make things too serious just now, because that's complicating things, Aquarius. And I don't know if that's you doing that, that's this person, or it's just how you merge, you know. Maybe you're both like super clear thinking people and you come together and you literally can't have a conversation without being confused, you know. I pulled a couple of Island Time Wellness, and I've got Axe. I don't know if this is someone you're in a breakup with, because it does speak of separation, which is what the Tower can be. It's also silent treatment and abandonment. Not enough is saying that there's, you know, there's a lack in some way. It can be that there's a lot of frustration in the relationship as it stands. There's also a lack of confidence. That seems to be coming more from the external energy, with the Panther being in reverse. And it may just be a lack of confidence in this connection, in this relationship. So someone with the cat spirit is actually saying, I'm happier on my Todd, you know. Then they don't need to get involved in something that will make them feel, you know, less than. Or where they have to struggle in some way to understand, you know, one another. But it can also speak of fear and ego issues. And then we have got the healing heart, which is healing from a heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships and addictions. And then we've got sunglasses, and that's watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting. So all in all, there is some sort of meeting here. And as I say, I don't kind of feel that it's planned. With the Pilgrim and the Maiden, it almost feels like it's just something kind of out the blue. It's something that happens spontaneously. But this can be a new area of study for you as well, Aquarius, and that's asking you to be clear in what your intentions are there. There's almost an energy here of saying, you know, kind of relax. You might want to stay alert in terms of what it is you're dealing with, because I do think there is some, you know, confusion probably in the romantic arena, with the 5th house being here. And I think it's just asking you to have some fun. I think I maybe said that in the Capricorn reading as well. I did take your advice, and you actually got the Sun, which is enjoy, success and happiness. And the Spider Spirit can be about making your dreams real, you know, taking steps in the direction that you want to go in, clear-minded, and regardless as to what anyone else thinks about it, there is the potential for success and happiness here. And the Heart Guardian, this is asking yourself to be loved. Love and let yourself be loved. So it's opening your heart, you know, to something new. I think the biggest message, I think Capricorn got something similar, is to not overcomplicate whatever's going on in your life. Yeah. And as I say, I don't know if this person is going to be, let's just see, making a connection with you, reaching out, or is this somebody you just like bump into? But, and I don't know if this clarity that's coming through is via some sort of, you know, conversation with this person, where there's an attempt to reach a resolution and clear up some misunderstandings, or in some way you are able to, because we do have the sunglasses, it may be somebody you're keeping an eye on, or vice versa, but this has been able to see through illusions, you know, see where someone is deliberately trying to, you know, confuse you or be contradictory. Let me see. Any more messages for Aquarius for this reading for the next 7 days? Do you have anything else? Please, Spirit, messages for Aquarius for this reading. Okay, I hate it when they come out in blocks. One at a time. A reunion. Yeah, so this really could be a get together. We do have the wife. I don't know if you're this person's wife or ex-wife. The wife is, I mean, it doesn't need to be an actual wife. The wife is sometimes a desire to be a wife. It does speak of a committed relationship. And it can also speak of unresolved issues in a connection. So there is some sort of get together here. And fortune. I don't see a lot of money here, but this and the sweetheart. So we might have a wife and a sweetheart. If that's the case, the sweetheart's out the window. So fortune is like infinite blessings. It's all manners of blessings that come through. And you do have the sun and the heart guardian. I mean, it's a beautiful combination. It's a card of ultimate victory, satisfaction guaranteed. It's also a lucky streak. There is maybe some sort of risk or gamble. I mean, as I say, to me, that is a stock market. It would be a calculated risk, but, you know, and I have to say, the clover for me recently, in terms of dailies and weekly readings, it's come through. It is really fun. It's usually to do with socializing, but it's also gifts and presents that you're not expecting. When someone picks up the tab, and you know you've split the bill, you've got your money on the table, and they're like, no, I've had this bit of luck, I'm going to pay the bill. Or you know, you get a surprising gift. It's something really light-hearted. So you know, I'm just saying, as I think I said to Capricorn, people need to think, stop overthinking things, stop overcomplicating things, and just keep it simple, stupid. Okay, that's your reading, Aquarius. Have a good week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.